Justice B.N. Krishna, former judge of the Supreme Court, my close friends, and the officials of the ET CISO. Good morning to all of you. I'd like to express my gratitude to the ET for inviting me, because this gives me opportunity to interact with you all, learn from all of you, and of course, express myself also. And I would say fearlessly, because Justice B.N. Krishna always used the word fearlessly. Friends, I was listening here the presentation made by some of the industry captains over here in different areas. But I don't have a presentation the way the structure presentation they have. I wish I could have brought it. And I also want to divert from what my friends from the industry have been talking about it. I like to give a general kind of aspects which way the whole technological scenario is moving there, what kind of a scenario in terms of regulation is emerging there, and ultimately, how do we need to move forward there? I am one of those lucky person who have seen a different digital transformations, right from 1, 2, 3. Today we are so far in the next so-called next generation digital transformation, or I would give a name of digital transformation version 4, whatever the industry 4.0, I will also say 4.0. Now this transformation 4.0 is entirely different than what we have seen in the past 1, 2, 3, or whatever numbers you may call it, whatever name you may call it. It's not an incremental kind of a system. It's not an incremental transformation. The way you can't go from 4G to 5G, similarly, this is also not incremental. This is a step up, a paradigm shift, which the digital kind of a transformation we have entered there. We have all read Mahabharata and Ramayana, and we have seen how the characters were created, characters were skilled. Today, the same situation has come in the digital transformation. I never imagined. I was always wondering about when I read the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. But when I see the metaverse today, or Web 3.0, you can create the entire kind of images. You create entire kind of characters there. And if you all have seen Brahmastra, the movie which is right now running there, that gives you some glimpse of the metaverse, what is going to come there. It's only give you a glimpse of that. Of course, the next version which they bring out, you will see much more different versions of the metaverse there. So we are now entering into the metaverse. Every large, big company, tech company of the world is now focusing on the metaverse. And some of the companies have changed their names also to suit to be called the meta companies or that kind of a scenario. That's a big transformation change which is coming up there. We'll come back. How does it impact the topic for which we are gathered here? That's one. The second aspect which is coming up is the Web 3.0. Now, Web 3.0, metaverse is a part of the Web 3.0, but when I say Web 3.0, I'm talking about the internet decentralization there. The entire web hosting, entire internet access, internet surfing, internet installation, is all going to be distributed there. So we are going to have a distributed kind of an internet systems there. Why I'm saying so chosen? Because the morning session, one of my friends were talking about the DNS. Now we are seeing the ransomware. Now, if you go to those kind of a system, metaverse, or you go to the distributed internet, the complexity of the ransomware, the complexity of the DNS, that's a mind-boggling. I really don't know how to, describe that, how to do that. But that is the second factor which is coming up. The next paradigm shift which we are now seeing is the next generation communication system there. 5G is a starting point there. 6G may come up because the countries have started working on the 6G there. The 5G itself evolution was not so simple. It took a couple of years for the countries to come together and frame the standards there. It's a completely internet-based kind of a communication service there. And that is where the DNS comes into the picture. But how does it come into the picture? It's very difficult to describe it today there. So next generation communication is entirely going to be a internet-based system, a TCP/IP protocol, or all kind of a protocol you may talk about it. Your existing 4G phones will not be working over there. The data will be stored either in your phone or on the tower. Exchange will be will be ineffective. They will be rather used only for the purpose of billing there. Entire routing of the calls from, if I dial from A to B or B to C, it will be either at the tower or at the phones there. That's a next generation communication system there. And then you will have an entire system, the LAN system, out terrestrial system, Wi-Fi system, macro system is all going to be seamless, different kind of a thing. So every kind of a device is going to get connected on the network there, on an internet kind of a thing. Different protocols, different interfaces, everything will get connected over there. Different institutions will get connected there. And the impact has started. It's not a theory today. It's a fact. That's why I said if you see the Brahmastra, some tinge of that, you can see the metaverse in that movie. That's a next kind of a system which we're talking about here. Now we all use the AI big data as a jargons there, but today they are not jargons there. You just imagine, can you send an SMS or a mail without applying the AI there? The moment you start writing the SMS or writing the WhatsApp message or writing any kind of a mail there, it throws the words to you. You have a mail, it provides the answers to you also. That's the AI, implication of AI. So we are morning to evening dealing with the artificial intelligence in some or the other manner, but in a big way. It searches your data also. It tells you. You have a phones. You are traveling from your office to your home or home to office there. The day you change your route, it tells you that you are changing the route. It tells you how much time it will take, what kind of route you are taking. It's all search data. AI, big data, there are today complementary each other. Wherever AI is there, big data will be there. Because AI cannot function without the big data, and vice versa, it's not true. That's that's a paradigm shift which is going to happen in our digital society in which we entered there. Then we have the IoTs. In the morning session, there was someone talking about the IoTs also. My Apple Watch is an IoT, your ATM card is an IoT. Entire industrial control systems are IoT, and I'm sure in this hall also, there will be IoTs, how they're controlling the lights and how they're controlling other functions also. So IoT, wearable devices, you imagine every tech company is coming out with they are in a kind of a rush to bring out the watches which gives you the blood pressure, which gives you the ECG, which gives you your other health parameters there. All sensors are built in there, all wearable devices. That's another paradigm shift which we are seeing in the digital transformation there. And the next you talk about the cloud and the edge-based kind of a system there. Cloud has already come. Edge is now getting evolved there in the country. Airtel has done some arrangement with some other company. Similarly, Jio's Durga is there. They also must be doing some arrangement with someone. And I'm sure Durga, if I don't want to, if you permit to leak out, maybe I guess it. The whole Microsoft arrangement was providing the edge kind of a network there. So the edge, cloud and edge is becoming a very, very important because the kind of a evolution which I am talking about, a paradigm shift, it needs the cloud there. And I was quite surprised when the first speaker who was talking about this said cyber security is a priority of this country, cloud is not a priority. I slightly differ from him that no, that situation is not that what he perceives there. That's another kind of a thing. Of course, the entire shape of the cloud, private cloud, public cloud, all kind of a hybrid cloud, they're all going to happen there. And I mean, I don't want to get into all these things there. The next important part is going to be your software development there. Today, you engage a software developer, they start writing the code from scratch. And if you see over a period of a time, the code directories like GitHub have become very, very famous there. So these are automatic code generator. Those are going to be a part and parcel of your system there, parts and parcel of developing environment there. That's another paradigm shift which is going to happen. There will not be any software code which will not have this automatic code kind of a generator or the code taken from there. So this is the next layer of your open source talk about it. The next layer, next level of open source kind of software you talk about it. And the last one is that the remote work applications there. We have seen during the COVID time, a wonderful system was involved in the name of a team, Zoom or WebEx kind of a thing. Everyone wanted to do the work from the remote. So remote work application is a reality today. And if you read the media news, this is something also worrying the software industry. Moonlit night, all kind of a things, applications, all the things are going on there. That's another worry which is going to happen there. So these are the technological trend which will bring a paradigm shift in the entire our digital transformation. How it gets benefit? It has a benefit. It has a adverse impact also. The merits and demerits of the system it has there. Now, the merit is that we are going to have the more productivity, more efficiency, more services there. It is a great impact there. Today, if you ask any one of us to be without the mobile phone, I mean, it's very difficult to do that. First thing, when you get up, you start looking at the mobile phone and you start looking at different applications there. And it has helped us. It has brought social development. It has brought many other kind of education level. But it has a different aspect, the merit also. That's what we are now sitting, today here to discuss the demerit part of it there. So friends, with this kind of a digital transformation, the first impact will be there, the changing landscape of the user, of the organizations, as well as the government regulations there. Justice B.N. Krishna led the team for the drafting of the privacy bill. Somehow the privacy bill government didn't carry, they are trying to revise it. That's one part of it. But the more important aspect is going to come, the part of a consumer protection where the data loss is there, the privacy aspect, the security aspect, data protection aspect. These are going to be a very, very important issues in this paradigm shift of the digital transformation. So these got regulations there will become more and more important there. Crypto, you have seen, that's a different issue. How do we address those regulation issues there? It's very, very difficult. And I must say from this forum to Lordship Justice B.N. Krishna, I was the last person to be called by the standing committee because I sat on the privacy bill there. And I said, look, if any data is moving on the internet, how do you localize the data? Nobody knows from which route data is going over there. We don't know the route there. If you want to localize the data, you need a one-to-one, point-to-point network and point-to-point terminals over there. But the data is flowing over internet there. Now the challenge has come that the entire system is total distributed there. Internet is distributed, metaverse is distributed, God knows where all the data is there. So the concept of data localization is going to be very, very difficult. So is the right for privacy or talking about the consumer rights there. That's a challenge this entire digital transformation is going to impose on that. We are still don't understand the impact of the entire crypto system, and I'm sure the government is struggling to bring out the law, which I mean they have promised they will come out with this before the financial year. But these are the challenges, and this will change the entire landscape of the way we work. The transformation will change the entire work there. Compliances will become the responsibility of the service provider. All compliances. If you go to the company law today, even a company, there will be more than 20 compliances to be done for different nature of a compliances there. And day by day, our company law is becoming a more and more stricter. There is a huge kind of a liability coming on the independent directors or on the management aspect there. So compliances in this scenario is going to be a very, very challenging aspect there, not on challenging complex there. And how to address those complex the challenge, the compliances is going to be an issue, what we are going to see. Every organization, I see here also, what everybody wants, connect web, connect phone, connect my home laptop also, all the devices, gadget there, they want to connect together so that anytime, anywhere information I can access, sitting from anywhere else, from the corner, from the office, I can access the same information. And every company is trying to make out a strategy to how to do that. That's another kind of a landscape changes are going to be there. I'll come on the what impact it will come on the security, I will come on that. But the changing landscape, I'm only saying because the result of the things there. I think the two speakers talk about the zero trust there. Everyone talks about the zero trust. But I would like to ask them, have we ever achieved the zero trust? What are the failures there? And they should tell me one company, name of the company, entire world, forget about India, who has achieved a zero trust. Yes, we will talk about zero trust. Companies will market their product zero trust. Policymakers will talk about zero trust. But in such a scenario where the digital transformation is happening, achieving a zero trust is another a complex task. And if I'm not wrong, if I take the little liberty, it is not easy. It will be by and large a failure to achieve a zero trust, complete zero trust. It will be a failure. That is the impact of the digital transformation which we are now entering into. Now, in this scenario, cybersecurity becomes a key issue there. And that's why this, I think, this seminar, the ET people must have arranged it. This is becomes a key issue, how to secure it. Why cybersecurity has become an issue there? I have discussed that we are now moving towards a complete heterogeneous world. Different devices, different software, different protocols coming on the network. Health system, road racer coming on the same network there. You don't know who is more secure, who is not secure there. Imagine the COVID scenario there. Everyone was putting the kind of a mask there because you don't know who having the some problem. You see some cough, you start worrying about it, something has happened there. That was heterogeneous environment in the COVID. Same thing is today is coming up. Road roller on the road, on the hospital there, ECG machine there, MRI machine there, nuclear system, they're all on this going to the same network. Different protocol, different interfaces. Who is strong, who is weak, who is vulnerable, which vulnerable, what vulnerability is there in which system, we really don't know. And that's why the issue of cybersecurity becomes a very, very important task. And that's what, we need to worry about those things. Legislation pertaining to data protection and privacy is going to be a challenge. The government has said we'll come out in a few weeks' time, 2 weeks' time. IT minister has made a statement. We'll have to see how things are going to happen. The telecom bill has come, the draft has come, and they want look at what change has happened there. Earlier, communication was defined as a message. Now they brought OTT also under the legislation. So the concept of legislation is not looking at the discipline. The concept of legislation is looking at the something which impact one of the key player or the industry or someone else, because today the entire communication system is under pressure because of the OTT. The entire cinema industry is under pressure under the OTT. So the new telecom bill has also included OTT as a part of the communication. And who, I mean, I may be right also, because today you can use the OTT platform for the internet access, for communication, for speaking like a WhatsApp message. You can use that also. That's becoming very very important kind of a platform. So the change is happening, the legislation, because the digital transformation, but the how to address is going to be difficult. Justice Krishna will, Lordship will remember, when I used to tell him in that draft bill, we had 100 kind of a rules making powers there. And I was very clear in my mind because I did my IT Act I did. Still, 2000 to 2022, we have brought one amendment. Still, the rules have not been published for one or two sections in the last 22 years. You can imagine the 100 section where the rule making powers over there is going to be very, very difficult. And that too, when there is no special domain knowledge in the country, no expertise in the country. So the entire legislation, data protection, privacy, consumer is going to be very, very difficult. And if you go back about a year back there, the government tried to bring the consumer protection. They tried to bring every platform there as a part of the consumer protection there. Now imagine the bank, I'm giving the money, I'm doing the transaction for my saving bank transaction, current bank transaction. That also is a platform like a e-commerce platform there. You have the Bombay Stock Exchange, you have a National Stock Exchange, and a stock trading, that also is e-commerce platform. So this is a platform economy, everything you want to bring as a e-commerce. Ultimately, what happened? The system, the bill became so complex and so many loopholes happens there where exploited government has to take it back. So the entire legislation in this area is going to be a challenge, is going to be very, very difficult there. Now, then here comes there are some people, my Akamai friend, he talked about three groups of ransomware. Well, someone said APT also. APT is a practically Chinese group there. The hackers are weaponizing this kind of a scenario. He talked about the ransomware weaponizing there. They are weaponizing the entire scenario. The entire system, entire software is weaponizing. He didn't give I don't know, I didn't hear, maybe I missed it. He talked about the ransomware economy there. It's somewhere at 500, entire underground economy, cyber, or the economy is somewhere around $500 billion. That is the kind of economy you have right now in the world. It's a mind-boggling kind of a weaponizing what hackers are doing it. And I have really seen, I can give you the case history. About 3 years ago, and I was called, the PM said that, look, the Nhava Sheva port, and the Merck terminals are there. Merck is a container shipment company. In India, they have a 56% share on the container business. Worldwide, they have somewhere around 28% shares there. They came to a grinding halt, and I had to rush to Bombay. I used to be in touch with the vice president who was looking after the operation in India. He used to tell me every 3 minutes they were shipping one personal computer or one server to different parts of the world. The entire operation worldwide came to a grinding halt. That was a ransomware, that point of a time. So it's a weaponizing there. How did they use ransomware? Through the same Ukraine, now Ukraine is so famous, one of the accounting package through they transferred the ransomware, and this whole system, the grinding system came to grinding halt there. This was a WannaCry kind of a ransomware they used. So hackers are weaponizing, they're looking at vulnerabilities, and they're weaponizing the entire system and demanding ransom or whatever kind of things there. Now, in this scenario, can you achieve the cyber security? That's a big question that we need to discuss it. Should we try for the cyber security achievement? Because there can't be 100% secure. Nothing is 100% secure in this world, whether it's a physical or a cyber or any kind of a thing. There's nothing. And I must tell you also that people normally say There are, cyber is a fifth domain there. The other four domains, land, air, space, water. They're the fourth domain, fifth, cyber is the fifth domain. But look at the difference there. The other four domains are natural domains. The cyber is a man made artificial domain. It's getting more and more complex day by day. So, in this scenario, can we have 100% security? Certainly not. What we need to do, we need to improve our resilience in the entire system. We need to improve the resiliency. How Baba Ramdev was marketing in the COVID time, he was saying, take ashwagandha, you take this kind of a medicine to boost up your internal kind of a system, internal strength you boost up there. That's what resiliency we need to do that to boost up. We need to enhance the resiliency of our entire cyber system if we have to really address the challenges and complexities which this now digital transformation is going to pose to us. Friends, we have no alternative there. We cannot avoid the technology there. You cannot use your Android phone or the Apple phone or whatever phone you want to use it more than 3.5 years or 4 years you can talk about it. So updates will not be available there. He'll be pushing the new versions there. Memory system will be bad. Maintenance will not be there. Parts will not be there. And any new item which will come, it will be much more sophisticated than what you have been using it already there. In terms of feature rich, in terms of operation complexity, it will be like that. So we have no option to leave the technology there. We have to use the technology there. But we must devise ways and means how to make use of the technology effectively for our benefit and don't get into the misuse and don't allow anyone to misuse and we secure whatever data which we have into our system. That's a resiliency we need to increase it and we need to look at it. Now, resiliency is not going to be that easy. As I said, we are in a heterogeneous kind of a world. If one system falls, the rest of the entire system will fall. Every day, new applications are coming up there. And it's a challenge we need to see how do we do that. Now, because of this complexity, the internet is becoming more and more vulnerable. Interfaces over there. How do I protect my system? On one side, the Apple. Many of you would have started the application there, would have hosted the application. Today, every application is to be accessed, implemented to the app there. And the app need to be hosted on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store there. The challenges of both these stores are totally different there. If you design your app, host on your Google Play Store, you are not sure you will be able to host the same thing on the Apple Store. Apple has its own things, Google has its own thing. But it may quite possible they may clash with each other also there. So different interfaces coming, different protocols are coming, different softwares are coming, different hardwares are coming. And mind you, there is nothing 100% secure hardware, there is nothing 100% secure softwares are there. There are always bugs there, and which keeps on coming with the revision and versions and updates over there. As a result, the entire internet is becoming more and more vulnerable. And look at it when we have a distributed internet, Web 3.0 and metaverse, what will be the scenario? You can imagine there. The many industries or organizations are embracing or deploying the IoT. You tell me one industry which has not deployed the IoT. Talk about the petrochemical industry, medical sector. You talk about the fertilizer, you talk about the power, you talk about any other supply chain system. They all have a IoT. And what is the problem with the IoT? Small device, small memory, there is no firewall, there is no IP intrusion prevention system. You can't put antivirus software over there. Encryption is also lightweight encryption there. So this whole IoT system, everyone wants to deploy the IoT system, but then the challenges are there for deploying the IoT system there. Whole this transformation giving those kind of a challenges there. Deep fake as well as the artificial intelligence. They are a bigger issues today. Throughout the day, we find that when we get a WhatsApp message, your phone will be loaded with the WhatsApp messages there. 95% of the messages you will get, it will be mocked or the fake. In the morning when I got up, I got a very startling news on my WhatsApp. I can't tell now what the news was there. It's a big political, geopolitical system. I mean, things happen in the world. And I've been trying, I'm restless to verify that news there. And genuinely, I'm telling you. I wanted to, when I was sitting with Lordship, and I wanted to show the news to him, but I withheld myself. It's not possible to verify that news. And we say, let us wait and see. Big change, big geopolitical kind of a things which news is coming there. So fake news, you can create anybody's fake there. You can do anything. That itself, and that fake messages, fake news, fake kind of a system, that also brings a challenge to the security because it hides your malwares. It hides your malware, it hides your many other kind of a codes there and disturbs your entire system there. Quantum computing. Everyone wants to use the quantum computing. It's a good use there. But the quantum computing, what kind of emerging there, it can break your VPN, it can break your password. Someone was talking about the password here. Within couple of minutes, it can break the passwords. So 8-character passwords there. And these are all reality. I'm not talking about a fiction. These are reality. They are going to see. And that's why I say I don't know how we deal with the kind of things there. Now look at the metaverse. There are very jargons there. For a metaverse, data will be distributed at different places. Blockchains will be distributed not only in the country but different parts of the world. If one blockchain gets corrupt, it's likely that it will corrupt other blockchains there. My whole authentication, authorization system will go completely failure. That's a challenge of the metaverse also is going to be there. And the deep fake will become very, very important in the scenario of the metaverse there. Friend, these are the challenges which we need to do. And I look at where are we. If you see the graph there, you plot a graph, what innovations versus security, how secure we are. The innovations will be going, the graph will be at a degree of somewhere around 75 to 80%. That if you plot this graph like this, if you go to the security, where the security implementation is there, it will be less than 30 degree. The graph will be less than 30 degree. That's a scenario. And that the difference, the divergence between the security and innovations are increasing there. It looks to be very frightening that whatever I am describing that, but it's a true fact to challenge which we are coming there. And that's why we are here today to discuss how do we address our challenges there. Friend, the security issues, there are basically 4 factors are there which are important when we talk about the security. One is the vulnerability in the system, inherent vulnerability in the system, hardware, you have a software or any communication system there. That's the one vulnerability. Interfaces, because I said we are now talking about not a seamless connectivity, we are talking about homogeneous connectivity. My bankers friends are there, from the stock exchange friends are there. We are talking about open standard, and we are talking about ONDC kind of a scenario there. UPI we have. You know how much fraud we have per day? UPI, this whole banking fraud, is cross 100 crore per day. These are the factual figure. Looks to be very small, but looks to be awkward, but it's a fact. We are becoming more and more open standard, more and more open kind of a system we are talking about it. But in this open standard, we are bringing heterogeneous system with the different interfaces, different kind of a protocols there. So that is a second issue which causes the main concern in the security. The third issue is the process there. What process we follow to do that? Now we talk about the DNS representation, we talk about the ransomware. Ultimately, what Akamai is doing it is also implementing certain process through certain technology. So is the case with the DNS. And the fourth factor is the technology there. Technology accounts only somewhere around 20 to 25%, or may not be 25%. But actually, the processes contains the 50% of the entire system is a process. We cannot stop a vulnerability. We cannot stop the interfaces also. This will continue to be developed. But if we are very careful on the processes there, we can minimize those kind of risks and we can enhance our resiliency of the system many folds there. And that's why process is important. And if you look at the international scenario, whole ISO 9000, ISO 27000, any standard you talk about ISO, they all talk about the processes there. They know that implementing a 100% foolproof system in any kind of thing is very, very difficult. And a process, the system goes from one hand to another hand and third hand. Someone will detect it. Backdoor kind of a thing, someone detect it there. So if we are able to implement processes in the changing paradigm technological scenario, we'll be able to achieve 50% of our security or we enhance the resiliency. That's one part. The second part is that we need to evolve our innovative solutions to handle our problems. Backdoors are a part and parcel of any hardware or the software today in this world. Someone may be intentional, someone may be a kind of inadvertently, the all kind of a backdoors will be there. But if you simply check the input system or the output system of any device, you put some traffic input and check the traffic at output there, you will know what kind of a scenario where the traffic is going. Is it going the same thing which you input or something has been added there? So simple kind of innovation, if you are trying to develop on your own and try to do with your friends or case sharing the information, I think that's another factor which is very, very important to look at it there. And third is that when we architecture our solution, someone talked about the design, the security by design. When we architecture our solution, we should be very, very careful how we are architecturing it. To the uncomfortableness of my friends over here, I can tell you there is no network in any financial institutions which is not a flat network. It's like all a flat network there. We mean security. You deploy a firewall or IPS, and the security or the SIM. Today, security is known by the firewall and the SIM. That's our understanding of the things. And I was really surprised when but the first speaker said cybersecurity is a priority in this country. Because we install SIM and we say we are secure, we install firewall, we are secure. But if you pierce the firewall, or if someone corrupt the SIM there, or you are not updated your signatures there, or not updated the software, that SIM will be useless. That kind of a... So the entire system need to be looked at it. We need to really look at it. How do we have an innovation, think of solutions there so that we can enhance the resiliency of the system rather than bothering over the achieving the zero trust of the absolute security. That's become very, very important. And that is where if some of the funders, venture funding organizations are there, I think we need to start growing the homegrown solutions because they understand our problems. Look at your architecture, make it architecture robust there. No architecture should be without the VLANs, without a different kind of any server which you want, any computer system you want to access from one to another, it has to go to the firewall. It can't go directly connected over there. Application need to be structured properly. Today we are in the era of a microservices there. One microservices, you are implementing containers there. One will drop and cascading effect will come there. So we need to look at how do we deploy our application structure, we need to deploy our entire network systems there. They have to distribute, we have to decentralize the entire system there. The culture is going to be the hybrid of the cloud. It will be a private cloud plus a public cloud. So we need to put a proper architecture of the system there. That's another factor which we need to consider, keep in the mind while designing it. Must look at the solution which companies are marketing their product. There are some, many of them are good solutions there. But how do you fit, how do you architecture in your entire environment? That becomes very, very important aspect. So, friends, we are in the very challenging time, and this challenging is going to be more and more complex in time to come. We need to share our experience, we need to work collectively together, and we to address the minimize our challenges, minimize our complex. And this is a time also there that the government and industry need to work together. One way system will not work because the entire know-how is with the industry. Government doesn't have that kind of a know-how there in this changing landscape there. I hope that the collectiveness is the one of the important jargon and one of the important model when we in this digital transformation which we are having it, and we must work together, share experience, share case studies, share to try to work together there. With this, I would once again like to thank ET for inviting me, giving me opportunity to discuss with you, to express my views. And of course, during the tea session or some, I'll be interacting. I had interacting in the morning. I'll be interacting with many of them. Will also, I mean, give me opportunity to learn from all of you how you are doing it. And I'm sure many of you are doing very innovative kind of a solution there. Thank you very much.